It's funded. Construction of President Trump's border wall to keep our country safe starts today. Trump 2020 campaign senior advisor Katrina Pierson says no one is expected it to break ground this early. After this. President Trump saying construction of the border wall will start immediately after signing the omnibus spending bill, which includes $1.6 billion in funding for the wall. The president also hinting yesterday that perhaps the military will help with the wall's construction, tweeting, and I quote, "Because of $7 billion in funding to rebuild our military, many jobs will be created and our military is rich again. Building a great border wall with drugs and enemy combatants pouring into our country is all about national defense. Build wall through the military." Join me now, Trump 2020 campaign senior advisor Katrina Pierson. Katrina, did the president critics think the wall could start construction this soon? And will it start this soon?
I do think that it's going to start this soon, starting with repairing some of the fencing and putting in some secondary aspects to that. But no, the critics did not think that this was going to happen at all, more or less this soon. And it's quite exciting. And the president is definitely an innovator. He's a builder. He knows how to get things done. And if he wants to somehow incorporate the military into this with regards to the funding, I think it's a great idea. The Republican House and the Republican Senate sent him a bill that did not cover his full priority on this method, but don't believe for a second that this is the end of it. Everything else was covered in this bill. I mean, they're spending money like there's no end in sight, which America's going to have to reckon with at some point. Look, I have no problem with the military, especially being used as border guards down there. There's a reason to have so many military bases in Fort Bragg and Fort Knox around the country. We could use those guys as our own border guards. I get that, and I understand military funding. But what happened to Mexico paying for this wall? Well, we haven't gotten to that point yet, have we? And the president has also said, and on the campaign last year, I believe there were at least 10 alternatives to the way that Mexico would pay for the wall indirectly if they didn't want to just cut a check for it. He's talked about doing it through trade. He's talked about doing it through electronic transfers. So that is yet to be seen. But the priority is to get it done. And I agree with you. I think that the omnibus bill was not a good bill. I have to echo the president's sentiments. He's not happy about it. A lot of the base isn't happy about it. But the problem is you still have Republican leadership in the House and the Senate that have not received the memo. That is the problem. They told America, you give us the House, you give us the Senate, and you give us the presidency, we can get the job done. And so now we have to deal with still leadership in the House and the Senate that is not getting the job done, and they need to get their act together before the midterms. That I agree with completely, Katrina. These guys are no different from the other party. They're just spending money to get reelected, mortgaging our future. Democratic senator. Well, this is not the way to get reelected, though. Not if you're a Republican. Well, if you take $1 trillion out of the economy and actually balance the budget, you're going to hurt the economy. And that austerity is going to make sure that the Republican in charge is going to not get reelected. These guys are more worried about getting reelected than the long-term solvency of our country. To go into a different topic, Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill criticizing Hillary Clinton for recently calling Trump voters racist and sexist.
So for those of us that are in states that Trump won, we would really appreciate if she would be more careful and show respect to every American voter and not just the ones who voted for her. I understand the point she was trying to make, but it felt like she was criticizing Missouri voters. And I would draw, talk about drawing a line, I would draw a line there. I have great respect for Missouri voters. And there are a lot of reasons they voted for Donald Trump, some of which I completely understand.
Katrina, is Hillary weighing down the Democratic Party with her divisive comments? and how is she still? Look, the election was well over a year ago, and she's still the focus of people running campaigns for next year. How is this possible? Well, of course she's weighing down the party, but in this case, Claire McCaskill is going to have to answer for her own actions. Did she vote for the tax bill? Is she supporting some of the methods the president's using to renegotiate trade, to bring back jobs and create a stronger economy? These are things that she's going to have to answer. But I have to say, the one thing I found interesting about her remarks was the fact that she said that she understood the point that Hillary was trying to make. This is a state that Donald Trump won by 19
14 points. He beat Hillary Clinton by more than 530,000 votes and even beat Claire McCaskill by 110,000 votes when she was reelected. So she has bigger problems to worry about than Hillary Clinton.
Well, somewhere an election won't be about Hillary Clinton in the future, I certainly hope, and somewhere these guys will come to their senses and have a balanced budget. Katrina, thank you very much.
Great to be here.
Coming up.